Oh, you beta male pup, you. I'm on Facebook, I'm minding my business. I decided I want to scroll. I don't know why I get caught up in scrolling. I saw a post and it said, ladies, if a man wants to take you to a coffee date the first time you guys meet up, run. He's dusty and broke. Thank me later. Kissy face. Hashtag level up. But this post was posted by a guy. And he's like, wow, enough women out here with her mentality and wonder why they're single, talking about standards. SMH. Exclamation point. Exclamation point. Exclamation point. You dusties are so bitter. It's so funny.
Excuse me as I kiss the sky.
Hey, I'm Soncerae. I am a beautiful single mom. I give other women relationship advice, especially single mothers. Fellas, I give you advice too, but on OnlyFans. Yeah, I got that peach. I got that skirt. I got that squirt. Soncerae, like, why are you saying stuff like that? Spank it. I got that spank it. Move this over, something. Move it just a little bit. Okay, and tilt it and right. There, I think that's it. I mean, don't get mad at me because I know I got a beautiful rap. Wow, enough women out here with her mentality and wonder why they're single, talking about standards. SMH. Oh, you know I had something to say about this. So you already know guys in here and they got all this stuff to say and I'm just like, oh Lord. And one guy comes in here, he's like, wealthy men are smart. They're not gonna be interested in gold diggers. First of all, wealthy men love gold diggers. Let's just get that out the way. Most of these wealthy wives were gold diggers. Sorry to inform you. He's like, a man with money is smart. He weeds out gold diggers. A high maintenance woman is nothing but a hooker with used box. I was like, that really? A high maintenance woman? Did you just read what you said, homie? Oh, that has Dusty written all over it. You know why? Because you're so frustrated, you're so socially awkward, you've had difficult experiences with women, so of course you're gonna think a high maintenance woman is just a prostitute with a used box. Because you mad because you couldn't catch one. That's all that is. Listen, ladies, when these dusties try to talk you out of having standards, it's so they can make you more attainable for them. It's a self-esteem thing, man. So basically, I was like, listen, it's hypergamy. She wants a man with money. Men with money don't usually ask women to go out for coffee on a first date. Most high-maintenance women would not allow a man to take her for coffee and classify it as a date. She has a standard. This woman is right. Usually a dusty who's broke asks for cheap dates first. But there are exceptions to the rule. But if every man was an exception, it wouldn't be a rule. So that's when Dave the Dusty came in. And his homeboy, Douglas Dusty. Douglas Dusty came in and was like, a woman with money would know that man has money and just wants coffee and to genuinely get to know her. Problem is too many broke women giving rich people opinions on what dates should be like. Dusty Dave and Douglas Dusty are sitting here talking about the very thing that they are doing themselves as far as speaking for men who are wealthy. You have no money. How would you know what a wealthy man is doing with his? So in comes a high value woman herself and she says, it ain't tricking if you got it. Women didn't come up with that saying, y'all did. Why? Because if he has it to spend, he'll spend it because he wants to, not because he has to. Some of y'all have to spend it to get the type of attention you want from the type of women you are attracted to. Because why else would you care about what a woman who you don't intend to date wants? The men who like a certain type of woman aren't complaining about paying for dates. Know your audience. Wow! Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. I could be loud. I could be ratchet. You could chase me and you'll never catch it. So I had to tell Douglas Dusty, I make money myself. I live in California. I make 6 figures. me personally, I would not want for my first date to be Starbucks. I prefer he put more into it where he'd like for us to go. It's not about me being a gold digger. It's about a boundary or a standard. I prefer a specific type of environment on first dates. I also like well-polished men. I get fly on dates. I prefer he match my fly. I mean, seriously, do men understand how much energy it takes for a woman to get fly? Even if she ain't wearing no makeup, she gonna do her hair. She gonna pick out an outfit. She gonna make sure she look good. I'm sorry, all of the energy that I put into myself as a high maintenance woman or a high value woman, the last thing I'm gonna want to do is go to Starbucks with you. I'm sorry. Whether you got money or not. Trust me, I've dated down and I've done the coffee date thing, and trust me, a high value man ain't interested in taking you to go get no coffee. Usually when a man is genuinely interested in you, he's trying to impress you. He knows he can't impress you with coffee. Any man with half of a brain knows that he can't impress a high value woman with coffee. Most women who are high value, whether they're gold diggers or not, whether they have money or not, are not gonna want to go get coffee. Man, you dusties are on some Groupon type mess. For a first date though, maybe later on, maybe after y'all been on a couple of dates, but a first date, man, y'all need to work on y'all presentation. Don't do something you can't handle. And ladies, do not allow something that you ain't gonna be able to be comfortable with later on. Women like going to nice places. Women like going to dinner dates. Women love fancy restaurants. Why would you want to be the ultimate dusty and try to strip her of that on a first date because you trying to test her to see if, you know, she a gold digger or not? Trust me, there are other things that you can do to find out whether a woman is a gold digger or not. And I'll do another video about that. Did I just spit all on the camera like that? My bad. I need to swallow more often. A shameless plug, make sure you follow me on OnlyFans. That's all I'm saying. So back to Dusty Dave. I was like, ooh, your energy is all dustful. Oh, you just coming on here aggressive and hateful. Okay, all right. Dude, wow, you're misinformed. I'm a person who has done extremely well for himself. A man with choices can take you any place he likes. Oh, and what makes you think you worth more than a cup of coffee? And a man like me, you never met a man like me. I'm like, I'm not interested in a man like you. I was like, why is he sitting here trying to convince me of that? Like I showed any type of interest. Listen, if you are confident in that way, you wouldn't be saying what you saying. It's obvious what type of man you are, and it isn't a high valued one, because the last thing you would be doing would be putting down a woman, especially a high maintenance one. You gave yourself away, homie. Your facade does not work with me. I was like, you seem real aggressive. Like, relax, it's cool. It's okay for a woman to want better for herself. If you can't rise to the occasion, don't be mad. Like, damn, some woman out here will want to date your dust. Trust me. I said, I can only speak from my personal experience. That's why I'm saying it's not really about money. It's about what the first date represents. But you're so defensive, you insulting the woman instead of realizing that maybe this is about her putting high standards on herself to meet and requiring that a man meets those requirements as well. I can speak from my experience, specifically not hers. Personally, for me, I prefer a man to try harder than that. Can't no plain average man, regardless to how much money he makes, impress me. He has to show me he can treat me as well as I will treat him. And he has to do that from day one. Yes, day one. Date one. He has to show me how much he will invest in me. Not just how much he'll invest his energy, but his emotions, his income. Is he investing in me in more than one way? This first date is important, and I'm gonna need for y'all to understand this. This is like an interview for a job. You want a position? I suggest you get your resume together and do what you need to do to get the woman that you want. Stop playing around over here. Stop wasting time. Dating is a process. A process that you need to start with someone who passed the first interview. If they can't pass the first interview, fellas, there's no reason for you to continue to date her. And ladies, same goes for you, boo-boo. If he out here talking about some coffee and you don't want to go on a coffee date, then don't do it. A lot of women are going on a coffee date because they want to appease a man and then find out they've been sitting here trying to appease a dusty the whole time. Now, I'm sitting here and I'm trying to tell this man, what would you know? Number one, Dusties, you have no idea what a man who is wealthy would do with his money. The fact that you feel like you do is the interesting part to me. One thing I also want men to understand is just because a man has money doesn't mean he suddenly lost interest in women or interest in impressing women. Just because a man has options doesn't mean that when he sees a woman he genuinely wants, he isn't going to try to impress her. Yes, he is if he genuinely wants to kick it with her. If he doesn't, she just not that chick. And let me tell you, about 80% of the women just not gonna be that chick he wants to impress. And women gotta be okay with that. I'm not saying every man should treat every woman like she's the one by him giving her the interview. It's the same. Ladies, if he ain't trying to give you an interview, or it's not the type of interview that you want, then don't go on the interview. Oh, let's just go grab some coffee. That's not a date. So if a guy says to you, hey, you want to just grab some coffee? Sure, as friends, we can do that if you want to sit down and you just want to meet as friends. But call that a first date? No, that's not a first date. That's just two people meeting over coffee. So Douglas Dusty says something along the lines of, you can't assume a man is broke if he's asking you to go on a coffee date. I assume a man is broke by how he behaves, whether it's coffee or not. If a man walks up to me with a gun pointing it at me, I'm not about to stand there and be like, maybe he doesn't have any bullets. I'm just gonna run, right? That's what you do. You don't sit there and be like, he's asking me to go to coffee. Maybe he's not broke. No, I'm going to be like, maybe he's just not genuinely interested in me because he would want to impress me and do something more than take me on coffee. Or maybe this dude is broke and he can only afford coffee. I feel this way if he was taking me to Jamba Juice. It's the same. Oh, you want to go grab a smoothie? Want to go grab some tea? Okay, we can do that as friends, but I would not classify that as a date, dear. So then Dusty David comes and he says, you can assume a woman is a gold digger when all she leads with is how she can tell a man is broke. Wealthy men don't need to prove anything to some first date. A woman in her 30s and above, single or divorced, is not a top shelf option. I was like, again, you have no idea what a wealthy man does because you aren't one. You doing more assuming than any woman ever will. I'm a woman who is wealthy, who is dating a doctor who is wealthy. Coffee was not where he asked me to go on a first date. He would never. Let me tell you something about the doc. I like the doc. The doc is very classy. Let me just put it like that. I'm gonna just leave y'all with that. I said men who aren't wealthy have to stop assuming that wealthy men aren't trying to impress women. Yeah, they are. A lot of wealthy men aren't driving nice cars for themselves. They do it to attract women. They aren't dressed nice because they just want to. They're trying to attract women. Men don't suddenly stop being interested in women once they make money. They use the money as a tool to get more women. You beta pups are hard-headed and broke. And we can tell that you're hard-headed and broke by your mentality. Listen, fellas, what you think isn't top shelf might in fact be top shelf to another man. So again, here we go with this argument. This goes back to the whole Kevin Samuels thing where this woman who's making 6 figures goes to him and she says, hey, I want a 6-figure man. And you got all the dusty beta males cheering Kevin Samuels on when he says, you're too ugly to get a 6-figure man. Well, here's a man who claims he has 6 figures and is wealthy, doing his thing. And here comes a beautiful woman saying, hey, I don't want coffee. He need to be taking me somewhere else. And he says, I don't like gold diggers and broke bitches. You see what I mean? You see the dilemma? You see how confused these beta males are? If you out here making money, oh, we don't care about your money and your education. Who cares about that? We have our own education and our own money. Okay, beta Dusty. Can't win for losing over here if you a woman. Because if you say, hey, I'm a broke bitch, I would like for a man with wealth to come take care of me. Bitch, you a gold digger. We don't want you. I mean, do y'all not see where I'm going with this? Here's the bottom line. Dusty beta males have no idea what they're talking about. These pups are out here confused. Alpha males, feel free to chime in at any moment. Save us from this, please. Men, listen up. If you are not wealthy, you do not know what a wealthy man is doing with his money. Usually wealthy men are around other wealthy men. Broke men are around other broke men. Might be an exception to the rule, but it's not for everybody. Because if it was, it wouldn't be an exception to the rule. If you are a heterosexual beta male pup, you are in no position to tell a woman whether or not a wealthy man will date her. because you don't date men. So when we tell you that wealthy men date us all the time, whether we're single mothers, whether we are financially stable or not, you might want to listen. I am Soncerae. I appreciate you being here. Make sure you share the video, okay?